Extras, Star Ocean the Second Story. Yeah, this Extras in Star Ocean the Second Story will be getting info out of Energy Need, the 10 Wise Men, and many other things that we have been asking for hours now. Now, let me start off this Extras with some good news. I actually, right now, as of, like, today is the 29th of September, not 29th, the 22nd of September, but ever since the 16th, I finally own Star Ocean First Departure and Second Evolution. So yeah, as of that day, I now own every Star Ocean game that has been released in America. I don't own the original Star Ocean. I have the English translation on the emulator. I'd rather get the reproduction cart because I hate playing that game on the keyboard. And yes, I know there's a way you can play that game with a PlayStation 3 controller. I probably might do that later. And let's see. Oh yeah, Star Ocean Blue Sphere, the sequel to this game, doesn't have an English translation yet, sadly. Oh well. Alright, other than that, let's talk to him. This library has been completely modernized. What? Everything is on a database. Pretty high tech, huh? So yeah, here's all the info. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, I tried making this video yesterday. Kind of like, it was going to be kind of like, actually no. It was sort of like that Extras in Odin Sphere when I was reading Croy's memo. Except without me reading because, oh my god, that was kind of horrendous. I can't read or stop clicking on the mouse. This time, however, I'm just gonna play through this thing and read you guys this. So, let's start with this. Information about God's 10 Wise Men, the Era of Peace. Please wait a minute. And I like how every time when you ask him to look up something, he always does that. 3.7 billion Need years ago, the inhabitants of the planet Need had developed the heraldic science to a degree that made them one of the more advanced civilizations of the galaxy. With the power that they had gained, the Needians came to rule almost most of the peoples of the galaxy. They taught the planets under their rule about the things that they had come to understand. They brought about advancement and peace. Now the reason why you're not seeing my other recording about this thing is because I missed a few things. So yeah. Whoops. And that's an example. The mendacity of the 10 Wise Men. Please wait a minute. Oh yeah, I'm drinking Starbucks coffee. But one day, seduced by the greatness of their heraldic powers, a group called God's 10 Wise Men sought to rule the universe. Naturally, the Needians were against this plan, but the 10 Wise Men, in a very unwise way, began to flaunt their great strength, of course. The Needians had no choice but to resist, and after a great contest of strength and many fierce battles, the Needians finally succeeded in capturing the 10 Wise Men. That's good. Oh, and for some odd reason, if I press on something too quickly, it doesn't load up the options. You just have to press X. The Last Days. Now this one seems very interesting to me. Listen to this. After our ancestors captured the 10 Wise Men, they banished them to an external exile according to Needian law. They were banished to the Eternity Space, a place where time stood still and which was used to hold criminals. Because Need had no death penalty, which that part seemed a bit interesting to me, this was the harshest sentence possible. In this way, the 10 Wise Men were imprisoned in the Eternity Space and set adrift in space, obviously. They were to pay for their crime by wandering in space for eternity. Can't you die in that thing? Okay, let's talk about Energy Need for a change. The renunciation of power. Please wait a minute. The incident of the 10 Wise Men was a shock to our Needian ancestors. It made them realize how great their power was. Indeed, it was not unrealistic to think that Need might come at some time to rule all the galaxies of the universe. Thus, the Needians decided to steal away their great powers. The birth of Energy Need. Naira, shut up! It was the genius of Dr. Lantis that helped our ancestors destroy their home planet and move to a smaller one. They then, okay, I think the word is pronounced enveloped. Enveloped that planet was a class 9. Impermeable? Gotta look that up. Force field to eliminate all outside contact. The small planet that our ancestors moved to became known as energy need. Energy need now. Because of our past, on energy need, we now prohibit all but the most necessary heraldic research, and no weapons are allowed either. On energy need, only Giveaway University is allowed to perform heraldic experiments, and the manufacture of weapons is limited to a small number of people in the town of Armlock. Looks like we'll have to visit there sometime soon. Heraldry, god dang it, man. I can't wait to play this game's remake. Whoa, I didn't read that, god dang it. Origin of the heraldic arts. Alright. The origin of the heraldic arts is said to be in the patterns revealed in prayer and tattooed on the maidens of the holy shrines of Tria, god of creation. Different patterns tattooed on the maidens were noticed to have different powers. The unknown powers behind these differences were called heraldic arts. I guess that would explain why Celine has a few tattoos. The power of heraldry. By tattooing heraldic crests of specific patterns on the body, practitioners of heraldry can convert their own mental powers into heraldic powers, which are much more intense than their normal powers. Once this fact was discovered, many different patterns were developed, and the heraldic arts became very highly developed. Alright. Explanation of heraldic arts. Did I already look this up? Nope. As the principles of heraldry became clear, it became possible to develop great powers, even without the use of heraldic patterns. This is why there is almost no person on energy need who has heraldic tattoos. In fact, heraldry is only used on energy need for transporters, generators, and other large facilities or equipment. Alright. Stones. What is the quadratic sphere? Please wait a minute. Coffee break? Quadratic spheres are the civilization of heraldic power itself. The degree of power contained in the quadratic sphere is directly proportional to its size. That means that the larger a quadratic sphere is, the greater its quadratic... God, man. Heraldic energy. Guess that makes sense. What is a quadratic key? Quadratic keys are special minerals that activate the effects of the quadratic sphere. Quadratic keys themselves possess a slight degree of heraldic power, and by combining them with a quadratic sphere, it becomes possible to release a gigantic burst of energy unknown to the elemental time-space continuum. If one were to mine two, it would be possible to use such energy to alter a planet's axis. Sorry. I believe... Sorry, guys. Oh, no. There we go. About resonating effects. When quadratic spheres and quadratic keys are brought into proximities with each other, in some rare cases, the quadratic key itself will emit an extremely strong light. This happens because the quadratic key absorbs and amplifies the minuscule amount of waves emitted by the quadratic sphere. In other words, the key's light emission is due to a proximity of the sphere. Alright. Information about the Crest of Annihilation. Crest of Annihilation. By invoking the Crest of Annihilation, an enormous amount of mass is produced at the single point of space. Linking this crest to the quadratic sphere amplifies its strength, making it possible to create an infinite amount of mass at that point in space. Such a singularity with an infinite amount of mass would halt the expansion of the universe, thus causing a big crunch. Because of this, this crest is now prohibited and has been permanently stricken from all heraldic literature. Can you tell me about the big crunch? this one is also interesting to me. The universe that we live in has been expanding ever since it starts in the Big Bang. However, when the speed of its expansion cannot overcome the gravity caused by the total mass of the universe will begin to shrink. From this state, all matter will eventually return to occupy no space at all, and the universe will die. This death of the universe is called the Big Crunch. So Big Bang, expand. Big Crunch, disband, if that's the right word. Hold it. Controlling the crest of annihilation. I gotta remember this. I forget things almost instantly. There's no way to halt the crest of annihilation once it has been invoked. The only thing that can be done is to add additional meaning to the crest, to rewrite it, to aim it away at something else. In reality, one can only pray... sorry. That this evil heraldic art is never to be used. Alright, now that we got all that out of the way, let's go here. Information about Heraldry Weapons Research Institute. What is the Heraldry Weapons Research Institute? This facility is located on an uninhabited planet in Beta Sector. A time-space transfer shield surrounds it, and all contact from the outside with the Institute is forbidden. The only entrance to it is a transport located in the town of Armlock, so we gotta visit Armlock. An overview of the Institute. Coffee break. At the Heraldic Weapons Research Institute, there are 3 main fields of research. Stabilizing of antimatter in 3D space using, I'm gonna say, Lie metal. Space-time transfer using space-time transfer shields. Oddly. Creation energy generation devices. Alright. Whoops. The closing of the Heraldry Weapons Research Institute. I think I'm gonna sneeze. 700 million years ago, a creation energy generation device malfunction caused the destruction of the Institute. The Institute has been closed ever since, and the transporter leading to it, located in Armlock, has been sealed ever since. Ah, dang it. Alright. Information of Heraldry Weapons Research Institute reports. Oh, nice. Stabilizing the antimatter through Lie metal. It's probably pronounced either Leia or Leah, I'm not entirely sure. The Barkers are known as one of the few silicon-based life forms in the universe. They carry within their bodies a substance called Lie metal, which refined and recrystallized in their metabolism. Huh. When a special type of vibration is applied to Lie metal, antiprotons are absorbed and emitted. Barker's metabolism uses the very special properties of Lie metal to create a life from antimatter reactions. The discovery of Lie metal made it possible to control antiprotons completely in 3D space. Time-space shield and its application. The woman scientist, Dr. Rima, was the first to apply this technology 700 million years ago. The space-time shield creates a gigantic gravitational field that opens a hole in the space-time continuum and transfers any type of energy to the different time-space continuum and seals it off. Theoretically, it is possible to gain complete control of the passing of time within any given time-space continuum. However, in order to do so, it would be necessary to have full control of the amount of mass greater than that of a black hole. Thus, this theory has yet to be tested. Yeah, I already looked this up. Creation energy generation device. A system that uses an artificially induced small-scale Big Bang to extract energy from the resulting imaginary number space has been researched for a long time. This system would produce even more energy than the quadratic sphere. However, it is extremely difficult to control the strain in the balance of space that results from opening a hole in the imaginary number space. Because the possibility exists that in the worst case scenario, a collapse of the time-space continuum will be initiated. No one has applied this theory as of yet. Now let's look up the last one, secret information. I'm sorry, but the category is protected. It has been since before I came to work in the library. A password is needed to access it, and no one has yet succeeded in doing so yet. And that's pretty much it. That is all the info about the 10 Wise Men, the Planet Need, and many others. Alright guys, this will have to be it for extras. Star Ocean, the second story. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. It's probably going to be somewhere in the next town over, or maybe it's, I don't know. We'll just have to see. Anyways, thank you for watching, despite it being just a reading extras. If you guys like this extra, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, please do a must. It'll really help me out a lot. And as always, I will see you the next time I do an extra in Star Ocean, the second story. See ya.